Nice.
You already know.
I was literally telling Donna earlier. I said, watch her post now. See what hat she's wearing. I bet you it's going to be Tyr.
Oh, you know it.
Where's Shane?
Shane, I think he is taking a little rest.
Is he? I haven't heard from him all day.
A reprieve.
I know, me neither. I was going to check on him right before our meeting, and then I didn't. And I'll check on him after.
Well, prayers everybody out to Shane. He just had a little surgery yesterday, so he's out of commish for the day. Mm-hmm. Maybe for the week. We don't know yet. But anyways, guys, let's get this party started. And welcome to the Every Tuesday Recover Out Loud meeting. Remember, guys, Recovering Out Loud is a movement. It is not a program. So please continue doing whatever you do on a daily basis to stay sober, whether that's the 12 steps, whether it's God, whether it's church, therapy, whatever modality you guys use to stay sober, continue doing that. And thank you so much for joining the Recover Out Loud movement. It means everything to us. The reason why we joined this movement and the reason why the Hopeaholics podcast exists is because I lost my son-in-law on 9/11 of 2022 to the fentanyl crisis. To fentanyl poisoning is what we call it around here, because there is no safe dose of illicit fentanyl. So never is it when somebody passes away an overdose. There has to be a safe dose for it to be an overdose. And illicit fentanyl does not have a safe dose. Every dose is a poisoning. Again, you guys, we really appreciate you showing up and supporting the Hopeaholics podcast and participating in your recovery every single Tuesday night. I also want to send another shout out because there's a lot of people from 3A that show up to our meeting. Somebody at some point will definitely, probably Laura will post a post inside the chat of all of the 3A meetings that happen every week. So please check them out. Yep. So, Ian, you got anything? Ian is playing Shane today. You got any words of wisdom to our listeners?
Yeah, man, just recover loudly. You know, there's too many people dying quietly, and for me, it's recovering loudly in Jesus Christ so people don't die quietly without him. So I add that level because for me, that's the only way you can find that true healing, that true hope, which is through Christ, man. So,
amen.
You got a really good podcast voice, man. Your voice sounds really nice in the headphones. I just wanted to let you know that.
Thank you.
You know,
just don't ask me to sing.
Awesome. All right. You sing?
Yeah.
Heck yeah. She's going to sing for us tonight too. So she's also, there's the 3A meeting. What do you call that? I want to call it like a poster. What do you call it? Like a flyer. Flyer. That's
There's
what
a
it's
flyer.
called. I don't know why I couldn't think of the word flyer. I'm also 50 years old, so it might have something to do with that.
No.
Yeah.
No.
50.
Lies.
Yeah. All right, man. Tonight we have Kelly. She's going to give us 25 minutes of her experience, strength, and hope. I'm going to turn it over to you.
All right. Hey, guys. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kelly. I'm an alcoholic. I'm going to start my timer just so I stay on time here. I always think about like sharing as like a way to get to know me. And it also kind of feels like your first date sometimes. Like, let me tell you my stats. I am 33. I live in California. I was born here. I lived in Atlanta. I grew up there for like 12 years. It's kind of like my core of where I grew up, and I feel like speaks to who I am a lot as far as like how I was raised and things like that. High school, middle school was here in San Clemente, and that was good. I had a great childhood. I have 3 parents, but both of my, my mom and my dad were together till I was like 28. They're all in my life today, and that's a blessing that I give up to God in my recovery. I have a brother, Ryan, and let's see. So I think from a young age, I I didn't have trouble making friends. I'm pretty loud and pretty boisterous. I like to be in your face. I was a theater kid. You know what I mean? I like to make people laugh. But I think my disease wants me to be separate from you. And before I knew it was my alcoholism, it showed up in crippling self-criticism internally. And so what that looked like when I was young was, I think the narrative there is there's something wrong with me. And that's something I still try to combat to this day. It is something, I'll go to therapy for just to build myself up and be the person I know that I am inside on a daily basis. So I struggled with weight issues when I was growing up, and I also have a mood disorder. I'll disclose that. And all of those things were just like another tack on to like something that's wrong with me, something that I would harbor. It didn't matter like all of my good deeds, or if you told me I was good, like I would thrive on that attention because that's what fed me. Before I found drugs and alcohol, it did like heal a part of me, so I felt a part of. I wanted you to like me, so I was funny, and if you didn't like me, I was mean. I was not nice. I was pretty aggressive, actually, growing up, and had no filter at all whatsoever. So I wanted to be in your face and have your attention, and that's what I drank to fill my cup. And let's see. So childhood was good. Parents are great. On my dad's side, my grandpa died of cirrhosis of the liver. I have an uncle who was on meth for like 13 years. He has over 13 years of sobriety now, which is pretty rad. But it does run on that side of my family. And growing up, both my parents drank, and it was not something I found very attractive. The first thing I started out with was weed when I was in high school, and then that progresses once I found stimulants. I'm a stimulants girl, or was. Once I found like Coke, like it was off to the races. Then it was, ecstasy, and I would skip school and I would sneak out. And I never wanted to be alone. That was something that chronically haunted me. Like, I did not want to be alone. If you took my phone, it was the end of the world. Like, that was like devastating. But I would sneak out. Like, I just wanted to always be going. And I would use uppers to do that, and for a while I would like have really good drug dealers and sell them, right? And because if I had the better drugs, like you wanted to hang out with me, like I'm the party girl. I identified as the party girl. That was like my identity forever, and I got sober at 30, and that shit ain't cute anymore. It's just not, but just fast forward a bit. I did say, I have a mood disorder. I got diagnosed when I was 16 and was on and off meds. I had this, something's wrong with me. I'm not enough, and that ran in my head, and I would stop taking the meds like periodically. And just every time I would do that, I would hit my face on the floor. Like I do not recommend at all. Now, I do have a psych. I have a therapist. It is a pillar of my sobriety. I do think there's more than just a 12-step program in my life. And I see my therapist twice a month, and I'm stable. I'm good. I do not suffer from that anymore. It's not something that is unmanageable for me in my life today. So fast forward some more, just to like tie that in. I think one of the pivotal points for me was I was living in LA. I had stopped taking my meds. I was in like the underground party scene, raving, and ended up in a pretty bad car accident. Like we were going to a mansion party. We fell down a cliff in my Jeep. My friend was driving. My girlfriend got ejected. And, I survived that. But I am the only one out of the 4 people in the car that like remembers it, right? And I ended up having to move down to my parents' house after that. And that was like game over. I was 21, and all of the friends that I had when I was younger, like I wanted to relate to, and it was another thing that made me separated. Like you could never understand this car accident that I was in and my friend being died. I will say, spiritually, grew up with, we went to Catholic church when I was younger. And then, I considered myself spiritual in my disease. I was too selfish to think about God or anything bigger than me. I was only thinking of self. And I will say that accident opened me up to a spirituality depth that I wanted, and it did open that part up for me. For me, she is my angel, you know what I mean? And it made me more interested in exploring my journey with God. And so fast forward, I did a couple geographicals after my parents got divorced when I was 28, and I ended up in West Palm Beach in Florida. That's kind of like my last run. I went there for a job with my dad, and COVID hit, and I was a wreck, and I'd get like 30 days here and there, and it was like I was hiding. My dad, actually, we've repaired our relationship now, but he wouldn't speak to me. He lived like a mile away, and like I had ruined it, so I'm out in Florida by myself, with some guy that I've decided to, hold hostage and attach to. He's got the drugs, he's a bouncer, all of these things that I think are important. And, I want to say, like, I still had some stuff, like a place to live and whatever status I thought I had, but my sense of self-worth, my sense of self in general, like who I was as a person anymore, so broken, and, in that relationship, I will say, like, I allowed myself to be very torn down, like, psychologically. I did not know who I was after that. This sobriety, I did have a brief sobriety when I was, like, 25. I got off, I did meth for a while and whatever. We don't have enough time for that. But it was my first surrender, really. Like, I knew I needed to come back to California. I knew I needed treatment, and I knew that when I came here, I was going to have to get sober, and that terrified me, and I prolonged it for as long as I could. But, I just hated myself. I couldn't live inside my mind, like it was shattered, and I would take it out on people. I took, uppers to stay awake, and by the end of it, I was drinking around the clock. I had this, like, Yeti and friggin' driving drunk, and, I would be the first person at the gas station at 6 a.m. And then I'd be they have like a bunch of strip clubs there in Florida. That's like the thing. So I'd be there till 5 a.m. So it's just like, I'm doing that. And then I'm taking Xanax to like chill out, but then I'm blacking out and just like ruining any type of kind of friendship that I had. It was the end, I actually save a picture of myself from that week that I left on my sober counter, because she's a mess and she's bad. But it reminds me of like how bad it was, Anyway, I called my stepdad. I said, hey, look, I'm not going to feel like this in an hour. I'm not going to feel like this tomorrow, but, I need you to come and get me. And so I end up back here. And my family here had not been around me, you know what I mean, for like 3 years. So they're still testing the water with me. Like, how bad is it? I've been hiding my disease and its depths, putting them at arm's length, and I could while I was across the country. When I got here, I got like 70 days. I got a job. I worked out. Exercise is a big part of my story. After I ended up, my exercise journey is a big part of me. And I maintained for like 70 days working out and getting a management job and just like doing the things. I'm good at doing the things. But I have no defense against the first drink. I was living down in Oceanside, and I found a neighbor, partied the way I did, ended up in a bar, had no business being in a bar. In 5 minutes, I'm in the bathroom. You know what I mean? Like, I've proven to myself way too many times that, like, I cannot drink like a gentleman. I have no control or power over the first drink or any drink after that, or drug for that matter. And I think I got through the holidays, and that was like kind of a big like anxiety I had, was like facing all the family here, the extended family. Everyone's married, everyone's got kids. I'm hanging on by a thread, you know what I mean? And then I decided, hey, look, like, I can't do this. I was out of my element. I was being a total B. That's what happens to me when I get like that. I'm just not even kind at all anymore. And so I went to treatment. I got like 80 days. And then it was, my sobriety date is 2/16/21. I went out for the last time on Valentine's Day. And I was like, I deserve it. And like, I went and, met up with this guy who I've known forever, but he was like on the back burner, and I was like, oh, I just went, dry out, I lasted like 14 hours with myself, before it was boom, back to, I cannot have this not in my hand. And then, you know what? Like, I wasn't safe with myself anymore. And that was terrifying. Like, wow. And so I called up the treatment center. They had been blowing me up anyway. And I was like, you got to take me back. I went to their detox, and I had done some coke. And when I went to the detox, they drug tested me, and they were like, what did you take? You took off, like, there's a bomb that went off in your system of substances. So that's what terrifies me about people that relapse now. It's not no big deal. Just like your story, that's so impactful because it scares the living shit out of me. I mean, I will hold on to what I've created in my sobriety over the past 3 years for everything. I would never give it up because you can die. Let's say I just want to go do a little bump. You could die. Yeah. It's not worth it. No. Not in any way, shape, or form. So, I made some deals with myself when I got sober. I told myself I'm going to do a year in sober living. There is a condo here that I do live in now that I rented out when we went to Florida. So there was a place for me to go, but I had not earned that. I had not earned to be safe in a place with no job and no nothing and no nothing, And so I went and I ended up managing a sober living for 11 months. And if sober living doesn't teach you patience, love, and tolerance, I don't know what will. Managing 2 houses of 14 women. Thankfully, I finally got an assistant, but it was like, dude, women are crazy. I'm still kind of crazy, but it's like I have tools. So yeah, I didn't work a program during that time. I Christ is in my life. I am a Christian, and Amen. I did do Celebrate Recovery, and that was a big part of the beginning portion. But we were still I'm a Zoom baby essentially. I found my sponsor, my leader, on a Zoom meeting, on a CA meeting, and she said my story like she was me, booze boys, and I can't remember the third thing that she said, but it was like totally me, because I used to use any drink, drug, person, food, sex, whatever that it was to fill that hole, that God-sized hole that only God can fill. Today, I got myself a little job, and then I was in property management for a while, which I loved. Recently, I made a jump, and I'm back in school at 33, guys.
All right.
I'm going for court reporting, and it's hard, but you know what I mean? It's a different kind of hard. Every day that I have today is never going to be as hard as long as I stay sober. I have 3 meetings a week that I go to. I stick with the women. That's just how I was raised, like men with the men, women with the women. And I also didn't, it's not in, it was a suggestion not to be with a man for a year. And I did that. I think that's a big, big part of why I can stand on my own 2 feet today. I didn't know what I want. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I would have wanted from another person. And so it really took me doing the work with another woman to get down to the causes and conditions of what, drives me to run from myself and my disease. And, I know who I am today. I am a woman who keeps her word. I'm on time. I'm early usually, which is so cool because you could not find me. I'm in a bathroom by myself. It was not enjoyable to be around at the end of it. But yeah, so I go to meetings. I work with women, and that's been a really bright spot for me, is being of service to another woman and watching the light come on for them. And I've been working with someone. She has 2 years, and then we met, right, through a friend, and I thought we were going to struggle through the spirituality thing, and it's so cool to watch God of her understanding work in her life. That's amazing, and I don't have to do anything, I just have to be with her, take her through it, and He shows up, and I firmly believe that everyone's God of their understanding protects and loves them, and all you have to do is come around to that. And so, like I said, I'm a Christian. I go to church. It's a big part of starting my week off right. And let's see what else. I have a relationship today that, you know, on my fourth step, it was like, write out your ideals, right, of a person. He checks a lot of the boxes. And I feel like I'm actually the type of partner that we are deserving of each other. You know, like all of the things I would want in someone else, I show up as well. You know, there's no toxic, cycle of abuse or trauma bond or whatever that is. There's none of that. You know, he works his own program, I work mine, and we meet each other where we're at. He's emotionally sound and stable and like a rock in my life. Because, like I said, like I go up and down. I'm not steady all the time. You know what I mean? But you know, I do my daily things. I pray in the morning. I do my gratitudes. It's a big deal for me, is getting grateful in the morning. I've got like a bunch of people that we all just share our gratefuls in the morning. It's like a list of all the things, and I put affirmations at the bottom, and it's like a big part of what keeps my head out of self, and like seeing what people are grateful for that day and responding. And you know what? I have friends today. I'm a girl's girl, you know, like I was just in a relationship for 2 decades, you know, and so now I have women in my life who I value and love and show up for me. And I didn't think I was worthy of that. I didn't think I wanted it. And the women who are around me today inspire me, mentor me, love me. You know, we've created quality memories, and that's priceless for sure. Yeah, so for me, it's not just a 12-step program. It's also God. You know, that's at the top for me. He leads me and guides me and works through me. And I'm a big advocate of exercise. I don't think it's talked about enough, at least for me and the experiences I've had. You know, it's body, mind, and spirit. And so, you know, also therapy has been a pillar. Like I have all the pillars, and it's the maintenance that I have to keep up in order to keep the life that I have. So I'm going to keep doing the do to keep getting the get. And I do all of those things consistently. And it's not like, you know, it's not like you're peaking on anything. It's nothing like that. It's like I found the joy and consistency and peace. And, you know, like I said, I like wouldn't give it up for the world. It's everything to me today to have found that serenity in self, be able to sit in my skin, in my body, work with others, and, you know, listen to you. Actually listen. You know what I mean? And so, yeah. Is that my time?
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
Cool. Thanks.
I mean, I have to tell you, amazing. My favorite part about people telling their stories is the recovery part.
Yeah.
And you hear the recovery, and you know when somebody's doing the deal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we all know what it's like to be out there.
Yeah.
We all know what it's like. I know what it's like to feel that guilt, shame, loneliness, pain, hopelessness, helplessness. And, you know, something you said brought up a saying to me: if you want what we have, you'll do what we do. Like, if you want to have something different in your life, you have to make a change. And to make a change, you have to do something different.
Follow a different roadmap.
Right. Because if what's not working, the definition of insanity is what? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. You know, the flip side of that, though, is do something different and you'll get a different result.
That and the part you mentioned about therapy.
Yeah.
For me, that was a key.
Yeah.
You know, I needed help. I needed to do something that was going to help me process being molested as a kid, which drove me to all the drinking.
Right.
And so by the grace of God, he put in my life this EMDR therapist who basically God used her to heal me of that trauma. So now I can talk about it. It doesn't drag me down. I don't go back there. Yeah. And now I can hopefully help other people get through that too. So the therapy part for me,
right.
I can really relate with you, as well as the God part, obviously.
Right.
But that's a big deal. But seeing the support that you have, just having your family members on there, that's huge, man. And what a blessing that is for you.
Yeah.
You know, I was blessed too to have the family stand by me with my wife and kids, my parents, you know, and then a church family that loved me. So
it's a big deal.
You can't find that anywhere really. It's a blessing. It means you changed your life. It means you, right, did something different. Like he said, you stopped being crazy. You stopped being insane.
Well, no.
To some degree, we won't take it off.
It's progress, not perfection, right?
Yeah.
Natalie, you got some words of wisdom before I open it up for sharing? Yeah, she's in the middle.
I love you too.
You don't see any pink hair. You just see a black hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a hair mask in, but I absolutely loved your share. I'm bummed. Oh, thanks guys for repping. I really miss that I wasn't there in person. You hit on so many key elements of that I personally related to as well, and I think you touched on a lot of things that people don't touch on as much. I think it's fantastic. I did the same thing. I didn't date anybody for the first year because I didn't know who I was. So how could I bring something to the table if I was a mess?
Yeah.
I think that was a really, really key point. There's so many things in your share that I wanted to kind of touch on because I think you hit a lot of stuff that we don't really talk about too much. Exercise for me is a huge one, is a huge component. One, obviously, we have some craziness in our brains already, but what it does, what working out does, and that's why I love being a part of the Infinity group and Chad being the leader of the group is, he's in the gym. Leading the team at 5 a.m. But it's more than just the physical aesthetics. It's releasing the serotonin and the dopamine that we're trying to chase for that hit, for that bump, for that alcohol, for whatever it is that we're trying to seek and get that out of change out of our heads. We're doing that in a positive, natural way, which then it builds that self-confidence within ourselves because we're showing up for ourselves and doing something for ourselves, which then gives us the confidence to go do our thing.
Yep.
So I love that too.
Stacking wins. Stacking
wins.
That's right.
Totally. Plus it relieves so much stress. So when you go into your office or when you go into your day or when you go into the battles that we have because life is on life session and life happens, you're more relieved. You're chilling because you already got in your workout. You already released all that aggression or built up whatever's going on because you got in a nice workout. So I really do love that you touched on that too. And the shit ain't cute. I got sober at 28. So I'm right there with you. It's not cute, especially for women. Yeah. I think it's something that we don't share enough because it is true. What man wants to be with a sloppy woman out there? No one. And so I really, really loved I can go on and on and on, but really awesome share and congratulations on your 3 years and way to spread the message tonight. And obviously God being number one is for me as well. And everybody sitting at that table, I know for sure. So he's definitely speaking through you and doing wonderful things in your life. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Love that. Life shows up. Life's in session for me right now. I'm in the midst of life being in session, but I like to take the stuff that Natalie says, I show up for life. I train my mind, my body, and my spirit for times like this that I'm going through right now. I take that a little bit from David Goggins. He says he doesn't like to run. He runs to callous his mind so that when the shit hits the fan, he's ready. And that's the kind of same philosophy that I have in my life. I train spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally for this stuff. Yeah. And then I tell the truth. Yeah. My team knows, Natalie knows I'm going through it. My whole team up here in the Infinity group, Ian knows I'm going through it. We had a prayer session last Tuesday when I was in the midst of the worst part of the storm, but not having any answers to anything that was going on. And that's when you have to really trust in God, and for me, my God's the same as your guys's, but I really don't care. I grew up in Narcotics Anonymous, man, and whatever works for you at this very moment, even if you don't believe, just believe that I believe, or believe that the rest of us believe. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be anything at this very moment, just something greater than you, because our best thinking got us to these rooms right here, which at the same time for me, I'm grateful that it did, because I wouldn't have the life that I have today, and I wouldn't be the guy that I am, because I think I would have been an asshole if I would have never been an addict. You know, I think I would have been not a good person. But because I found the rooms, I like the guy that I look at in the mirror most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the surrender.
Except when the addict gets in there and it starts to get in there and twist me and say, "Oh, look at you! Look, you're getting old. You're getting fat. You're this. You're that." You know what I mean? It's really can just start to. If you guys heard, and I'm sure the rest of you say horrible things about yourself to yourself. I do too, but we don't have to do that today. We can take a moment and say, "You know what? That is not who I am. Stop talking." I tell myself all the time, stop talking to me like that.
Well, for me, it's the identity in Christ. That's the identity, right? That's that bookmark right there.
Yeah.
We don't have to be the shame. We don't have to be the pain. We don't have to be the past. We have this.
Yeah.
Right? The present.
The present.
By the grace of God, my sins are washed free. I'm forgiven for all the past. So I move forward, and when I look in the mirror, I don't hate myself anymore. I hated myself.
Yeah.
I sat in rooms just drunk in a corner crying, miserable, not knowing what was wrong with me.
Yeah.
And you figure it out, and by the grace of God, he did. You guys say 38, and you guys are young. Took me till 54 or 53 to figure this out.
I was 42. I was 42.
But that's the grace of God, right? Yeah. But it's that identity. Remember, it's in Christ.
Well, great. Let's open it up. We've got. I just want to send a quick shout out because I see Jennifer Bomb Diggity has got her hand raised. So we'll see you in just a bit. We're gonna start off with Joe Pip. What's going on, Joe?
What's going on, guys? Joe, I'm an alcoholic.
Hey, Joe.
How you doing? That was a great call. I get that a lot, man. That was a great qualification. For some reason, I identify as I identify with women more than men. I don't know what it is. I think it's just the honesty about the emotions. I don't get that a lot in my rooms over here. Most men just talk about all the shit they did, instead of why they did it. You know, for me, you touched on a lot of stuff, man. Could never be alone. That was a big one for me.
Yeah.
I would just seek out people, places, and things because I couldn't be alone, you know? And then I would get not frustrated, but like, these aren't my people. And I would jump from group to group, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. At times I wore out my welcome as well.
Yep.
You know, I could never be alone, yet no matter how many people I was around, I was always lonely. You know, and, you know, now I'm always alone, but I'm never lonely. And it's kind of amazing. You touched on the physical part, the fitness part. You know, for me, my top 3 priorities right now, and I can't believe I'm saying this. I can't even believe I'm continuing to be consistent with this, but it's my spiritual health, my physical health, and my financial health. In that order. It used to be financial. Now that's at the bottom. You know, my spiritual is number 1, and that's just not God. That's relationships, family, how I behave. It's so many things. And if I could master, or at least because I don't want to say master because we make mistakes, I make mistakes, but if I could be real consistent with number 1, number 2 and 3 is easy, you know? And I'm really grateful I have this program. I too do NA steps. I'm an alcoholic. I think it's both the same. But sometimes you got to be, you know, semantics could get people upset in these rooms. So I do NA steps, and I too haven't dated. I got 16 months sober. I'm still not dating. Not that I'm not ready. Thank you. I'm ready. I still don't know what I want in a woman, but I'll know it when I see it, if that makes sense. Yeah. So I'm just taking my time. There's no rush. You know, I'm really focused on the physical. I lost 35 pounds in 6 weeks on the carnivore diet, which is great. I just made my own milkshake, carnivore-friendly milkshake from home, that's what I was making. It was delicious. It wasn't that good, but it was good, you know. But, you know, life is amazing. and I really want to give this to other people. Unfortunately, you can't unless they want it. I've been trying to help a lot of people, but early recovery, I understand people get in their own way, but I'm here if they need me. Because I need to give this back. This is a life hack. This is a cheat code.
Yeah.
If you do it right, that's exactly what this is. I'm out of time. Thank you guys for listening. Have a wonderful rest of your night.
Did we get an upgrade?
That was awesome.
Did we just get an upgrade? We did. Heck yeah, Joel.
That was awesome.
Dude. Joe, great freaking share, man. I love your share. I keep coming back, man. And the one thing I was going to say, in this room, anybody could say whatever they want as long as you're not offending somebody else. You know, we could say sober, we could say clean, we could say whatever. We could say steps, no steps. We don't care. We could say Jesus, we could say God. We don't say Satan around here, though, unless we're shunning him.
We rebuke you.
Yeah, rebuking. That's the word I was looking for.
We don't want him in this room.
Yeah, we don't want him in the meeting. But everything else is fair game, man. This is open to everybody. You could be an addict. You could not be an addict. You could share. We have moms in this room that have lost their children who are not in recovery, but they actually love coming to this meeting because it helps to heal them. So cool stuff. Who's next? Bianca.
Hi, everyone. Firstly, thank you for your share. I could identify with it in so many different aspects. Like just trying to find that, I don't know, find whatever it is in anyone, anything, any place. And just, seeking that, like you said, God-sized space in you. And it's really like such an impossible journey to find that while using, when it really is just for me, my God and my higher power that like I need to find in order to find that peace. And just going all over the place to try to find it, ending up with whoever. And I'm not sure who may have been on when I shared, maybe, I think it was about, I don't know, it might have been like a month ago now, but I was in Colorado at the time. And then about a week ago or a little longer, I hit my 90 and I shared as well. Oh. And I was, thank you. I was back home in Rhode Island at the time, and I was just really struggling. I'm not sure who mentioned it also, it might have been Chad, but just kind of having to change a lot of different things and like taking those chances to do so. I'm back in Colorado now, and the difference from, I'm here permanently, and the difference from my 90 at home and like just feeling like I was about to like hit that bottom again, kind of like not really feeling like with it, not doing my grateful flow in the morning, not praying anymore, not doing all of that. It really was like screwing with my mind. And it took like that big leap where like, I don't know, it was almost just like either do it. Like I've done so many had so many impulsive, insane thoughts and scenarios while using that. It's like, why not I could take so many risky chances while using, why not take a risk that could actually better my life? Yeah. So I don't know. I'm just in a different mind state. It's good to be with you guys today. And just the whole, also what you said in your share, like just kind of like being around, like never being alone. It's really easy to like get in where you fit in when you're using, and it just feels really good to be somewhere where I find peace and that I can get in where I fit in a completely different manner, and like find those people that like I can relate to and identify with and like keep me on a good path and in this good mind state. And I just have a whole new feeling of peace, and I just loved your share, and thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. That music is so awesome.
It's like the Mirrorback Century or something.
Zamzo.
What's going on, everybody?
What's
My name's
happening?
Chuck. I'm an alcoholic. Grateful I woke up today instead of coming to. Got to see a beautiful sunset here in Illinois while I'm listening to the speaker, and great talk tonight. A lot of similarities. A drug is a drug is a drug is what I was told. And I'm grateful that I got to hear this tonight. I wasn't going to speak, but I figured I'd say something tonight because, if I'm not going to change something, it's going to remain the same. And luckily, I made a lot of changes coming back in the program in 2008 when I was 30. I'm going to be 40. No, I'm 46 now. I'll be 47. And I'm coming up on 16 years. And I'll tell anybody right now, the ride has been great so far. And I love it, man. And hearing the story, the accident is what stuck out at me, is the accident. That's what drove me back in the rooms. That's what got me sober. I got scared shitless because I almost died. And luckily nobody else was involved. That's part of my story. And Green and Main is the corner. I missed a telephone pole by a few inches probably. But I took the guide wire down and I remember saving the front license plate and put it on the next car I got. So it was a constant reminder if I wanted to go back out, that license plate will be gone and probably even totaled. I always kept a constant reminder around me because of what it would be like if I went back out. But I was too scared to go back out anyways. The last time it scared me. But I had to make those changes, make that needs and wants list, gratitude list, get that sponsor with me. He guided me through the forest because I couldn't see the forest through the trees. So he guided me through the forest and helped me out. My brother from another mother, higher power is what I call it, Mother Earth, reminds me every day of who I am and what I am. And I'm grateful I don't have to feel nuts today. And nuts means not using the steps.
Nice.
And man, I had a gentleman come in last night high, and he's been struggling, and I stayed after, talked with him. This is real, man. This is real. And last night, those things, that gets me. I get a little emotional sometimes, but, I love the guy because he's trying to get well. He's a sick guy trying to get well.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to show him the way. And I know he's going to make it. He's already signed up for going to a rehab. He's trying to make the steps to have a better life. So I wished him well last night. I told him I gave him my phone number and call me if anything happens. If you got something going on, that's what it's about. Carry the message. And that's all.
Thanks, Chuck. That was.
Yeah, man, we don't shoot our wounded.
No, we definitely don't shoot our wounded around here. It's we are sick people trying to get well, not bad people trying to get good. Yeah. And that's something that I learned early on because I honestly, and it was something that helped me change my mindset about myself because I literally thought that I was bad, and when you realize that you're sick and you're just trying to get better, just trying to get well, and then we help another person who's sick and help them get well. I love that, Chuck. I love you sharing. I love your shares. Thanks for sharing tonight. Victor. He disappeared. Oh, he's back.
Yeah. What's up, guys? Victor, drug addict. Glad to be here. Thank you for your share. There was a lot that stuck out to me. The accident, was like Chuck said, that was big for me too. Today's kind of a rough day for me. It's the 2nd year anniversary of a helicopter crash that happened on a fire that I was on, and that was I was kind of using on and off then, but I think that was what I justified to sink my teeth in and just go all out. And I was getting bad. To the point that I thought street fentanyl was safer than oxycontin or oxycodone that I was taking. And it was a rough day. This morning it was kind of rough because Facebook reminds you of it, the news reminds me of it, and I kind of like blamed myself for it because I was the one that, you know, ordered up the helicopter to help us on that mission. But you know, I didn't do nothing to cause it to crash. And when I talked to another firefighter that, you know, he runs an aerial platform, and he told me, you know, we all know the risks that we take when we, you know, step out into our helicopters, our engines, our crews or whatever. We know the risks that we take. And you know, don't blame yourself for it. But for the longest time, I was blaming myself for it, and you know, nobody could understand. Nobody got me, basically. And I always felt alone, even though I was surrounded by a bunch of my people. You know, I have a 20-man fire crew that I'm, you know, with constantly. You know, all summer long, sometimes, you know, into the fall. And there's times where I would feel alone, like they didn't get me. And now it's different, and it's even crazier because there's some people that I didn't even know that, you know, they had dealt with the same shit. You know, they were you know, in and out of the rooms or still working the program or whatever. And you know, you pick up on like subtle things that, you know, people say, you know, like whether you're keeping your side of the street clean or you know, just key phrases. And I've come to realize that I'm not alone. I have, you know, a strong community, both in, you know, my career and, you know, in the program that I work. So I was just grateful to be here. I'm glad that I had service. I got one more day out here, and then I get to go home and take a couple days off, hang out with the family, and probably hit an in-person meeting. So just thank you guys for everything, and with that, I'll pass.
Awesome. Thank you, Victor. Patrick.
Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Pat. I'm an alcoholic and addict from Long Island, New York. Yeah, thank you, Kelly, for your sharing. I identified a lot with it, actually. I was the bouncer with the drugs. I was a self-loathing egomaniac for a long time. I don't know how those two can fit in the same mind, but they certainly did. Yeah, man, I just over 6 months sober. And my life has changed just immeasurably. I'm so grateful. You know, I'm almost getting emotional saying that. Like, if you would have told me 6 months ago, I would have been sitting here on Zoom, you know, with happy tears in my eyes. Aww. I would have said, you're out of your goddamn mind. This has been quite the journey for me. You know, I've been to probably 170 meetings in 180 something days. Nice. And yesterday I didn't go for the first time in probably like 100 days. And I felt it all day. I felt it. And then I went at work. I'm a stagehand, so I was at Citi Field setting up for the Foo Fighters. And there's a lot of drugs in stagehand work. And at the coffee break, somebody said, "Oh, I should have did a bigger line. I didn't realize we had to do this." And I was sitting there, and I was like, I wanted to gag thinking about doing that, and that was my drug of choice, was cocaine. And I almost, you know, the obsession has been lifted. It's not even attractive to me anymore, and that's because of the rooms and the fellowship and the people. And you know, I my sobriety is really based in Long Beach, New York, and it's a big drinking town. But I've learned that anywhere with good drinking, there's good sobriety. And I just have this great group of people in my corner, and yeah, I'm just very thankful to be here. So thanks, guys.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Great share, man. Thanks, Patrick.
Mitch.
All right, Mitch. What's up, buddy?
Mitch, we can't hear you, bud.
All right.
There you are.
All right, Mitch.
Well, you guys can hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
You not hear me?
You're good now. You're good.
Hello.
You're good.
Testing.
Good.
All right. I know my connection is horrible, but all right. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you too.
Where'd Chad go? Yeah, nice to meet you guys both. You guys are amazing. Thank you for your share. There's a few things that stuck out, and yeah, I've been working on those a lot. The spiritual, the physical, and the mentally. There's a new one though. It was financially. You know, it really needs to step up for me. There's my boy Chad. Love you, Chad.
Mitch is saying what's up.
What's up, Mitch?
We're always just another sober blessed day, you know.
Amen.
But yeah, we really got to start working on those financial things going on. I know this month and next month is going to be some good potential coming my way. I know tomorrow I get my funds from my bowling, because if you guys didn't know, yes, I am a league bowler, and I do a lot, you know, trying to share my testimony when I go, because, you know, a lot of people are alcoholics in the bowling alley. And so we got to just keep on rescuing them. If you guys pray for them, you know, my league, there's a lot of crazy people in there. So, you know, I'm always trying to do my part, show the love, you know, and it's just taking it one day at a time. Another short story. During the end of my reign of addiction, I was around definitely the wrong people, and there was some spots where, you know, I got to thank God that I am still here, because being around some gangsters where that is crazy, right? Being a white boy, a bunch of black people, you know, so figure that, you know, I don't know how I made out of it. You know, a lot of people thought I was a cop, you know, being in that situation, but like they knew I was just a smoker. And at times, you know, we get the bottle or the Hennessy and doing crazy stuff, you know, so robberies, you know, you name it. I was doing a lot. I'm glad that wasn't my full addiction thing. That was only for like about 2 years. I was down that crazy route. But before, I was just mostly smoking weed all the time, and, you know, kicking back, trying to find works, keep a steady job and whatnot. So, you know, I'm just always trying to do my part, do the best that I can, you know, and God's going to bless me, and he's been blessing you guys. So, you know, always truly a blessing, y'all. So thank you for guys for everything always. And thank you for letting me share. Love you guys.
Thanks, Mitch.
Jen Bomb. What's up, Jen Bomb?
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Let me know if my camera freezes. I have a little bad internet connection here. But very excited to share today. Thanks for your share. I definitely can relate. Congrats on your 3 years.
Thanks.
So I'm trying to still get sober. It's very difficult. I lost my job, I guess, in June now. End of June. And then like my boyfriend like broke up with me like a week before. So all this crazy stuff happened. And then I just drank for like 2 weeks. Like those 2 weeks, I don't remember anything. And then I also tried Oxy for like my first time, which I don't know why. And then apparently I guess we think it had fentanyl in it, because I thought one little small dose wouldn't hurt, but apparently, which my friend just told me recently that I overdosed. I didn't realize till like a few days ago that I overdosed. So he had to use two Narcans on me, and then do CPR, and then use another Narcan on me, so he's also in recovery, and he's trying to get off a few drugs. So he does go to a clinic. So he was asking for more Narcan. I'm like, why do you need Narcan? Like, don't you have one like in the house? Like, we don't like need that. Like, we're not doing drugs or anything anymore. I just got a detox like last week. And he's like, I have to tell you something. Like, I used 3 on you before you went to detox. Yeah. And I'm like, then this freaked me out. And he's like, honestly, like, I never experienced something like this. This like taught me a big, like, I'm helping him. Like, we're like going through kind of like this like recovery journey together. He's like, but this taught me a lesson. Like, I never experienced something that I never want to. Like, it opened my eyes. Like, that really opened my eyes. And when he told me that, it like also like opened my eyes. Like I like didn't like believe it at first. So which is a little shocked too. Like I would think like something like that you would tell me in the morning, which is a little crazy. But I don't know. But I don't know if you have feedback. Let me know at the end of this. But yeah, but I could also relate to your story with like I'm trying to now since I'm not working for a little bit. I'm taking the summer off, just working on myself because I need to like get back in there, back healthy. I know, like you mentioned, like going to the gym, working out your mind, health, like physical and everything. So trying to get back into like fitness and everything. Just doing like fun, random stuff. Like I'm trying to learn how to ride a quad. So I've been doing that. Doing like random fun stuff, like going, like I've been up in like Connecticut, like staying away from New York City. I'm staying like with my friends, all like sober friends. So I went hiking this weekend, off in like the mountains, like doing things like I wouldn't like do like when I'm working. So like I don't want to work for like this summer, not till like September, look for a job and everything. So trying to like my friends like building a quad for me, like so I'm trying to make a nice pink one. So just doing like random fun things I wouldn't do normally, staying active, doing sober. Actually, I went back to my rehab today because they forgot a few things, which I think they did it on purpose, to be honest, because they did. I got very close with everyone, all the facilitators there, because they did say they locked the doors, said you're not leaving. But they had my nice protein shake that I drink every day there, ready for me, and another sweatshirt ready for me and everything. But I did get close to everyone, and like the owner there, it was like one of the top facilities I ever went to. So nice, and like I would go back there, but
whoopsie, Jen, we had to mute you because you went over by 1 minute.
Our prayers go out to you, though, Jen. You can do this.
We love you, Jen.
Hey,
thanks, Jen.
Hey, Nick, bring it in. What's up, my friend?
You get 3 minutes, then you hear music, and then you're only supposed to get 15 seconds.
That's my dude.
Oh, wait, I know Nick.
That's my dude.
Yeah.
We were in high school together.
What's up, Hopeaholics?
Hey.
It's good to be on this meeting, and great to hear your story, Kelly. Because me and Kelly come from the same town, San Clemente, and it's, someone said here, wherever there's a lot of drinking city, you can get sober there too, and that I find that to be so spot on true. And whenever I hear the share, someone sharing like, I don't know, it's always when I go back to my hometown, and everything else, it's like, and I end up relapsing or whatever, and and it's always, you always hear it, and it's really what works for me is just getting completely just absolutely surrender to step number one and agreeing to the doctor's opinion and in the big book, and really going, am I one of these individuals that cannot take any alcohol or any kind of narcotics of any kind of shape or form? If it's small, little, no. I'm absolutely an alcoholic addict, that's for sure. I started drinking, got drunk for the first time at 17, and then I was off to the races. And I was like, oh, weed. And I was the kind of person like, I can't snort coke because I have a deviated septum. I was born with that. I don't have that much of a great nose. Oh, bullshit. And then here I am, like, just snorting away, like the disease is progressive. And I too came into recovery at 25 years old, been sober ever since. And, I was 25 and that was 2012. Like, me too. Like with the whole relationship thing, like I stayed, single too, but that wasn't really a problem for me. Cause like, I really, really feared being in relationships. I was just so much in fear, but it was just, I really come to realize I had commitment issues, like big time. And I've wanted to really know how to deal with women for, and how they, and basically because I come from a household where I saw my dad be verbally, emotionally abusive towards my mother. And I was just really resented how he did and how he was as a person. And it made me fear that that's how you had to be in a relationship. But now my relationships today are fucking phenomenal. They're so much greater and never ever. And then I grew up in a household full of dudes, so I really didn't know how how to link with, another woman in a better, gentleman way through, spirituality. And so that's why I wanted to stay single for a while and learning from the steps. And now it's like I've come to realize that, as like Kelly was saying, I think I went over. Did I go over?
That's the
But I basically, women go through a lot of emotions and how much harder it is and stuff like that. And I've come to really, look at that like, oh shit, and be more cooperative and more, better gentleman like, because we all have to link and do this thing in any shape or form, and how to recover better. And some people have it tougher than others, so I have to, not be so judgmental.
Awesome. Thanks, Nick.
Thanks, Nick. Love you.
Mimi?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Mimi.
Hi, Mimi.
I just wanted to come on and say a quick hi and thank you. And I don't remember who said it, but yes, it's true that our past isn't what we are today. Actually, there's a song from My Little Pony called that, and it says, even in the song, we can show the people around us we've changed, because our past does not define us. Our past is not today. Right. So, even in a kid's show, and yes, I did watch My Little Pony, even though I'm 26, but that's what I wanted to share.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Next up, we have Evan. It's my cousin's name. Evan is Emily's ex-boyfriend's name.
Oh, okay. Oh, right
on. Blushing for a reason, I guess.
How's it going, guys?
Good. How are you, Evan?
Good, man. I logged in last week. I was at Serenity Knolls Treatment Center. I actually got out yesterday after 60 days.
Good job, man.
So, thank you. Got out yesterday. Today's my first day out in the world. Yeah. It's trippy. But I just want to say thank you for your share, Kelly, and just stoked to be here. Found you guys. Been following the Instagram for a while now, but we all logged on last week, and there was like 15 of us watching, and I tried to get all those guys to get on there again, but they couldn't log on. So I'm just hopped on here. Just want to say hey, and 62 days sober today, and
heck yeah.
Well done.
Got a sponsor, and doing 2 Zoom meetings tonight because it's an alumni meeting for the treatment center. So doing that tonight after this one. Yeah, I appreciate you guys and what you guys are doing here, and all the shares and all the awesome support.
Awesome, man.
Hey, awesome.
And
Keep
congratulations, dude, on getting out and going straight to a meeting, whether it's Zoom or whatever. That's how you stay sober. Yeah. The hardest part is the transition from treatment back to home. And if you don't have a good transition plan, that's where people relapse a lot. Yeah. So just show up to as many meetings as you can, man.
100%. I'm actually doing another 30-day outpatient program. It's like 9 to 3 every day. Perfect. And then do that, awesome. And then get back to work. Just make sure I'm solid before I get back out there. So
smart. Everything else can wait. A lot of times people are all like, hurry up. I gotta,
Got the rest of your life.
You were not hurrying before, sir.
we need you for discharge blocking. You were not hurrying before. Thank you so much, Evan. Danny.
Woo! I know her.
Hi, guys. Oh, my gosh. Thank you, girl. I am just like, it's so crazy that you sent me this invite today, because I was thinking of all the times I've hung out with you and, all the different events we've been to. I had yet to hear your story, and I knew it was going to be a powerful one because, well, you're a badass. But I was thinking today, when we have our girly pool hang on Thursday,
Pool
I
party.
thought I'm going to ask Kelly about her story because I just didn't really know.
Yeah.
And holy smokes, so much of what you said just hit home for me in so many ways. Number one, I do want to say thank you, and thank you to the Hope podcast. I haven't been in a meeting in over a year, so this is really cool. So much of what has been said today has filled my heart and my spirit. So much of what has been said from you and so many other people in here is exactly what I needed to hear today. So thank you. Congrats on 3, girl.
I love you.
Amen.
I'll see you Thursday.
I love that. Number one, you have found a commitment to staying consistent. And I see that, we follow each other and we talk. And I just love the program that you work today. I love that you have found something that works for you that isn't, maybe traditional in the sense of like creating all of these pillars that really support you and what that looks like for you. And then being an advocate of that is just, it's so inspiring. I think one of the things that you mentioned towards the end of your journey as an addict is that you became seriously like terrified of yourself. And that is the one thing that really hit home for me because it took me 27 years of deep addiction to hit that same point and say, oh crap, I've got to do something different with my life or I'm going to die. And so I'm just so thankful that you are here sharing your story, inspiring people. And for the newcomers that have 30, 60, 90, 120 a year, I mean, I'll consider myself a newcomer forever. I've got 4 years, but in the grand scheme of it all, I've got the rest of my life to live sober. So I'm still a newcomer myself. Nonetheless, thank you, girl. You're amazing. I can't wait to see you on Thursday. Thank you for inviting me. And thank you for everybody that's here and sharing their story.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Danny.
Awesome.
What a freaking amazing meeting tonight.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You guys got any words of wisdom before we close it out?
Well, I just want to say thanks, Kelly, for sharing. Beautiful story. And I love that you figured some things out where you can now help other people and just keep going. I also want to thank you guys for having me come sit in here today. Lifting up Shane right now. Hope you're feeling better, brother. Natalie, it's good to see you on camera, but also here with this rain drink.
Yeah.
And Chad, thanks for the opportunity to fill in and just be part of this. You guys are doing so much for so many. It's such a blessing. And I just enjoy walking alongside you guys and helping people find a better way to live life, man. You don't have to live alone. You don't have to do this alone. We're meant to be in community, right? So keep coming, keep reaching out, and keep showing up to this meeting, you guys. This is my Tuesday meeting, too, that I sit in. You'll notice me sitting right where you guys are. And if you want to see my story, go back to March 3rd, because I sat right there and shared my testimony as well. So thanks again, man. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you. I appreciate you coming and being a fill-in for me tonight, because otherwise I was going to be all alone and and then I'll get nervous and you never know what's going to come out of my mouth. Kelly, thank you for sharing your experience, strength, and hope with everybody. Again, everybody out there on Zoom and everybody that's watching on YouTube, we really appreciate you all. We couldn't do any of this without you. And this is just a reminder, none of this is about us. This is all about recovery. It's all about hope and healing. And it's also about recovering out loud so people don't have to die in silence. And, we have to collectively come together to, for a couple things, but the big thing out on the front burner right now is the fentanyl crisis. It's going to take all of us to slow this down. Currently, 300 people die every single day. Could you imagine if a jumbo jet crashed every single day? What would happen? They would ground all flights, and none of us would buy tickets because we wouldn't want to go on it.
Isn't that the truth, though?
That is the truth.
And that's a sad reality we live in right now.
Yeah, it is a sad reality that we live in. It's the way the world is, and it's going to take us not the government, to stop this crisis. So we all have to come together. That's one of the things that I love about the 12-step program. It taught us all to come together regardless of age, race, sexual identity, creed, religion, or lack of religion. We all can come together and help each other and lift each other up and, bring unity.
Can I say something else?
Yes, of course you can.
So if you're in the Orange County area, I have a Wednesday meeting at my church. It's called Restoration Recovery, every Wednesday at 6:30. And if you show up at 5, I'll feed you a catered dinner too. But I just wanted you to let you guys know that we have something for you too. And I would hope to see you guys come and just check it out and give me feedback, man, because, let's do it together.
Yeah,
Mission Hills Church,
meeting.
Wednesday nights at 6:30.
And that's about it. Nat, you got any farewell wishes?
I've been texting her this whole time.
You have been? All right.
Awesome meeting you guys. Kelly, thank you for your lead. Ian, you're the man. Thank you for showing up and filling in for Shane and myself.
Yes.
And walking along with us in this journey. Chad, I love you, and way to hold it down. And everybody that showed up tonight, shared, we did this together, and we, like Chad said, I'm just reiterating, we can't do this alone. And we appreciate all you guys that show up tonight. And this meeting is for all of us because we all need one another. We can't do this by ourselves.
Big shout out to Emily too, because we couldn't do any of this without her.
Emily.
Oh, Lord knows, you guys. And just for everybody that's on the chat, I apologize. I'm probably DM'd a couple of you guys because I don't know what I'm doing. So thank God for Emily as well, because I was trying to do a group thing and then I think I DM'd some of you guys, but apologies. So well done, young Emily. We love you too.
All right, everybody that's on right now, go ahead and start turning your cameras on because we got to go and we got to see you before we go.
Come on.
Everybody's got to turn their cameras on. I still see a few people. Alice, Liz.
Shannon. Oh, shout out to all my people who came.
Evan McFadden, ready to put your camera back on.
Hey,
all
Dave.
right. Brianna, Alice, KO.
Come on.
All right, guys. Everybody put your hands in the air just like I'm doing right now.
Go.
Just like I'm doing.
Are we?
Hands in the air, hands in the air.
Oh, great.
How freaking cool is that? Like, what other freaking meetings do you guys go to that dance out? Which ones dance out? Just the Hopeaholics Recover Out Loud meeting does. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. See you guys all next week. See you next week.
Nice.